Just in, airstrike launched, deaths confirmed. The Trump administration just launched a massive attack against ISIS targets in one of the world's most volatile regions. According to a tweet from ABC News, the U.S. military conducted a massive airstrike against ISIS targets in Somalia, killing several militants. The U.S. Department of Defense stated that the airstrikes were conducted in coordination with the Somalian government and occurred just 100 kilometers west of Mogadishu. In coordination with the federal government of Somalia, U.S. forces conducted an airstrike in Somalia against al-Shabaab on Thursday, November 9, at approximately 3 p.m. local Somalia time, killing several militants, the statement read. The operation occurred in the Bay region of Somalia, about 100 miles west of the capital, Mogadishu. Al-Shabaab has pledged allegiance to al-Qaeda and is dedicated to providing safe haven for terrorist attacks throughout the world. Al-Shabaab has publicly committed to planning and conducting attacks against the U.S. and our partners in the region, the statement continued. U.S. forces will continue to use all authorized and appropriate measures to protect Americans and to disable terrorist threats. This includes partnering with AMISOM and Somali National Security Forces, SNSF, targeting terrorists, their training camps and safe havens throughout Somalia, the region and around the world. The U.S. military has carried out 22 airstrikes this year against the al-Qaeda-linked al-Shabaab and other smaller Islamic State groups in Somalia and Africa. The smaller al-Shabaab organization has taken responsibility for the massive truck bombing in Mogadishu which killed more than 350 people and the country's worst terror attack, according to Fox News. Earlier this month, the U.S. military carried out its first airstrikes in Somalia against ISIS-backed forces. As reported by Breitbart, these airstrikes were conducted primarily with armed drones. U.S. forces will continue to use all authorized and appropriate measures to protect Americans and to disable terrorist threats, said AFRICOM officials. This includes partnering with the African Union Mission to Somalia and Somali National Security Forces and targeting terrorists, their training camps and safe havens throughout Somalia, the region and around the world. Previously, airstrikes that were carried out by U.S. Africa Command were only done in self-defense situations on behalf of Somali and African Union troops. However, President Donald Trump has recently enabled the use of offensive airstrikes to target ISIS forces in the region. One anonymous official said that the airstrike may have targeted top leaders of ISIS in Somalia. In response to these terror attacks, the Somali president has vowed a state of war against ISIS-backed forces, utilizing the 22,000 African Union troops that have been stationed in the region to help assist in the process. Ever since a truck attack carried out by Saifullah Saipov, an ISIS sympathizer, claimed the lives of 8 people in New York City, President Trump has said the U.S. military will hit ISIS much harder in response. He warned that ISIS will pay a big price for any future attacks on U.S. soil, according to USA Today. ISIS just claimed the degenerate animal who killed, and so badly wounded, the wonderful people on the West Side, was their soldier, tweeted Mr. Trump. Based on that, the military has hit ISIS much harder over the last 2 days. They will pay a big price for every attack on us. Defeating the Islamic State was one of President Trump's chief promises to the American people. At this rate, it looks like he might very well make good on that promise.